Shalom everyone. Today is part 2 of the last video called God has put a curse on his chosen people, the Negroes, because they broke the laws of the covenant. So today we're going to get into more details about these curses so you can have a better understanding of these concepts. So without further ado, let's get the message started. And if ye shall despise my statutes, or if your soul abhor my judgment, so that ye will not do all my commandments, that ye break my covenant, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I commanded these days, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. God told the ancestors of the Negroes that if you break my covenant and you don't keep my laws, this is what I'm going to do to you. Cursed shall you be when you come in, and cursed shall you be when you go out. The Lord will send on you curses, confusion, and frustration in all that you undertake to do until you are destroyed and perish quickly on account of the evil of your deed, because you have forsaken me. You're going to perish. I'm going to destroy you quickly. That's what God says. I'm going to send evil upon you. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flies, a nation whose tongue that shall not understand, a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young. And God said, I'm going to send a nation against you to oppress you. A nation as swift as the eagle that flies. This is America right there, along with the European countries. Just take a look at the American flag, and you're going to see the eagle right there. This is pretty much the Americans that are referring to, and the European nation. He said, I'm going to send the white people down there on you in Africa to oppress you. A nation whose language you shall not understand. We didn't speak English in Africa. We didn't speak Portuguese. We didn't speak Spanish. We didn't speak French. None of these European languages before European colonization. We didn't speak these languages until they came through and oppressed us. This is who God is referring to. That was part of the curses. God says, I'm going to bring those people to oppress you. I'm going to be the one to send them against you because you are very stubborn. Because you don't want to keep my commandment, I'm going to send somebody, your enemies, people that hate you, to oppress you. People that have no regard, no respect, no pity whatsoever for the young and the old people. And he's going to oppress you. For he have brought a nation upon them from far, a shameless nation, and of a strange language, who neither reverence old man nor pity child. A nation that you have not known shall eat up the fruit of your ground and all of your labors, and you shall be only oppressed and crushed continually, so that you are driven mad by the sight that your eyes see. He said, I'm sending the European over there on you, and they're going to steal, they take advantage of your natural resources, the fruit of your land, you're not going to take advantage of that. But your enemy is going to take advantage of that. And they're going to oppress you on top of that. This is exactly what's going on in Africa. This is exactly what's going on with the Negroes in Africa. God's saying he's the one who sent the white man over there to oppress you. And he said the white man is going to be oppressing you continually. And you're going to be looking out with your eyes open, with madness, with anger. But you're not going to be able to do anything because I'm going to put a curse on you. You're not going to have any strength to do anything. That's what God said. And I will set my face against you, and ye shall be slain before your enemies. They that hate you shall reign over you, and ye shall flee when none pursue you. And your enemies is going to kill you. You're going to be slain before your enemies like animals. They're going to oppress you. Them that hate you are going to reign over you. Does that sound familiar? This is talking about European nations over there in Africa oppressing the Negroes, oppressing black people. God is the one doing that. He's the one using these people to oppress you because you didn't want to keep the covenant. This is the consequences of your choice. You were free of your choice. You were all free to make a choice, but you are not free of the consequences that come with the choice that you made. Because thou serve not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed you. You're going to be serving the white people. You're going to be serving the European, along with all the other nations, the Asian nations that go in there in Africa, setting up businesses. You're going to be serving your enemies, bro. Hey, that's what God is telling you. He's the one doing it because you don't want to keep the laws. You said the laws are done away with. You want to follow the Roman Catholic doctrine, talking about the laws are done away with. You want to worship the white Jesus. You want to worship the white man. God said that's what I'm going to do to you. You're going to serve your enemies. I'm going to put a yoke of iron upon your neck. I'm going to have your enemy put a yoke of iron upon your neck until you are destroyed. That sounds like slavery in Africa. That sounds like white people coming over to Africa, putting a yoke of iron on your neck and slave you and have you work on your own land. Have you dig your own natural resources and hand it over to them so they can go back and build their own country. While you're over there in Africa suffering, not having anything to eat, poverty, and all kinds of evil, because you did not want to keep God's commandments. You wanted to follow the white people religions. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. He shall lend to you, and you shall not lend to him. He shall be the head, and you shall be the tail. He says, the stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. Which means economically, financially, you will be beneath. And the stranger that lives among you, they're going to be above you. And he's going to lend you money. He's going to lend you money because you can't lend money to anybody. You over there in Africa, you don't lend money to these people. Those Chinese, those Libyan people, those Indian, and all these other nations that are going over there in Africa, setting up businesses. We go and beg these people for money. We can't lend them money. We can't lend them money. We borrow from them. You know that. We borrow from them. Because we poor anyway. We can't lend money to anybody. We poor. Our country is very poor. We can't lend money to anybody. Because poverty has taken over us. For they shall eat and not have enough. They shall commit whoredom and shall not increase, because they have left off to take heed to the Lord. In other words, poverty shall cleave unto you. Poverty and hunger shall cleave unto you. That's what it means. Because you said you shall eat and not be satisfied. And whoredom or prostitution shall be one of your values. And despite your prostitution, despite you whoring, but you shall not be increased in number. Whoredom and wine and new wine take away the art. Prostitution and alcoholism are going to be your values. That's what it means. Alcoholism is going to be your values. It's going to be cleave onto you. I'm going to put these curses upon you. And you shall grope at noonday as the blind grope in darkness. And you shall not prosper in your ways. And you shall be only oppressed and robbed continually. And there shall be no one to help you. And the white man or the Europeans are going to oppress you continually. They're going to keep doing that. They're not going to leave Africa. They're not going to leave you alone, whatever you are. Over there in Africa, they're not going to leave you, man. All these wars going on in Africa, God is the one doing that. God is responsible for doing that. Because we chose not to keep the laws of the covenant. All of this evil going on in Africa, God is the one doing that. This is the reason why. You say you're going to be oppressed only and you're going to be robbed. The white man is going to continue robbing your natural resources. Go back and build the countries. And you're going to be left with nothing. God is the one doing that. We're not going to take advantage of that. It's not going to happen until we stop with the wickedness. Until we wake up and return to the Heavenly Father and keep our end of the bargain. Also, every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this law, then will the Lord bring upon thee until thou be destroyed. Why are you number one in HIV? Because you didn't keep your part of the covenant. You wonder why Ebola was only present in Africa? Because you didn't keep your part of the covenant. Why are you number one in hypertension and high blood pressure? Because you didn't keep your part of the covenant. Why are you number one in all negative effects across the board? Because you didn't keep your part of the covenant. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee and shall pursue thee and overtake thee till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God to keep his commandment and his statutes which he commanded this day. And there shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. And all these curses shall come upon you and overtake you until you are destroyed. Thus said the Most High God. This is what God said. And this is exactly what has happened to the Negroes. And it continues to happen to this day as we speak. These curses are still upon us as we speak. And he went on to say that these curses are going to be a sign upon you and your seed, which means your generations, forever. That means if you want to identify the children of Israel, you're going to be able to identify them through those curses. The children of Israel are under curses. God has cursed the children of Israel because of their disobedience to the law of the covenant. It's going to be a sign upon us. We're not going to be a prosperous people. We're going to be an oppressed people, an impoverished people. Nobody else on earth is going through those curses except black people, especially Negroes. And when I say Negroes, I'm talking about the Bantu people. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that every single black people, every single black person is a Negro. They call us a Negro for a reason. Negroes are the Bantu people. You can differ the Israelite from the other black nations by their physical characteristics. So these curses are going to be a sign upon us and our generation forever. So hopefully you've been edified on the second part of this lesson, and stay tuned for the next videos on the slavery of Negroes. And like the videos, subscribe to the channel, and share the videos so that the word can be spread throughout the four corners of the earth as prophesied. And with that, I say peace and blessing.